Hey guys, CryptoDad here again, and thanks for joining me on the live Q&A every Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live from Michigan. Here we are once again. Let's jump right in. Okay guys, welcome to the live stream. I've got some news to talk about. Little bit of a dip today based on some fear mongering. We've got a couple other things going on. I've got some crypto I want to move around for you guys, and I've done some recent videos on some interesting things we'll talk about tonight. So sit back, relax, put up any questions that you may have. Let's jump in and see who's on the live stream. Oh, I better change my res here for you guys so you can see what's happening on my screen. I had a feeling I was going to forget to do this. There we go. Okay. All right, that's better. Yeah. Okay, and let's get me back. I've suddenly disappeared. Where'd I go? There I am. It was like, let's get some more light on the subject. All right, that's better. I'm still a little transparent, but that's okay. All right, let's see who's here tonight. Okay. All right, Scott Lee's here bright and early. Betty is here. Hello. Mr. David, missed you yesterday at the Patreon Q&A. Glad to see you're okay and back in. Texas is here in overcast, not 98 degrees. Al is here. Hello. Jason Clement from Dallas. Good to have you. Magoo is here, hoping to learn some stuff. All right, so I hope Scott has some pies cooking for everybody. All right, so let's jump into the news. Let's see, the first story, I'm going to look at my little, I think the first story I wanted to talk about was that, where are we here? Yeah, the FBI thing. Can you believe it? Now we got the FBI on us. First it was the financial industry. Then now it's the law enforcement crying about Bitcoin. You know, it's funny that the FBI would be crying about Bitcoin because, you know, they've been using tracking to shut down lots of dark websites. So, I mean, they've got a handle on, you know, Bitcoin. So it's funny that they would even say that they can't handle it, that it's a big problem for them. It's actually a boon for them. It's much easier to track Bitcoin than it is, you know, fiat dollars. But anyway, let's jump into this story here. Let's see where we got here. Alt. Where am I? Here we are. Thank you. Yeah. Significant problem. Dimitri is doing some runs tonight. Okay, thank you. So she'll probably be checking in with me throughout the live stream. So here we are. FBI, crypto is a significant problem that will get bigger and bigger. It's a headline, yes, but it's really just kind of an offhand remark that the Chris Wray, I believe, is that how you pronounce his name? Christopher Wray testified before the Senate Homeland Security Committee, where, of course, they were talking about all the things we're all supposed to be afraid of, foreign influence on elections, cybersecurity, border security, and, of course, cryptocurrencies. So, you know, Mitt Romney asked about cryptocurrencies in general, I guess maybe Bitcoin. And, you know, he prefaced it by saying, hey, I don't really know anything about them, but aren't you doing something about this? They must be hidden. Well, you know, in one sentence, he said he didn't know, and then put his foot in the mouth by the end of the sentence because Bitcoin is highly trackable. There are many firms out there that track Bitcoin transactions on the blockchain. So Bitcoin is more easily traceable than US dollars. So now there are privacy coins that they might be, concerned. But let's see if he mentioned. Okay, so he's talking about Chris Ray when he replied to this concern about cryptocurrency. He addressed cryptocurrency as a whole, right? Cryptocurrency is already a significant issue, and we can project out pretty easily that it's going to become a bigger and bigger one. Whether or not this is the subject of some kind of regulation as the response is harder for me to speak to, right? So, problem, yes. Breaking the law, we didn't really say that cryptocurrencies are illegal. He just said they were a problem, whatever that means, right? Now, of course, the standard line with cryptocurrencies is that they're used by terrorists and money launderers and drug dealers and child molesters and all of the nasty people in the world, that use cryptocurrency. So we should ban or regulate cryptocurrency. Which is very myopic when you think about it, short-sighted, because a large percentage of criminals use cash, US dollars, to hide their activities, right? And only a small percentage of people, and more criminals use cash, right? But only a small percentage of cryptocurrency users are using them for something illegal. Now I'm just saying that, but there are a lot of people out there that have bought cryptocurrencies since the big boon of 2017, and most of them are not criminals. Right? Most of them are people like you and I, who are interested in, investing in our future and transitioning away from centralized banks, that sort of thing. So anyway, and then the Australian minister, they sort of tagged that onto the bottom of this story. The Australian Minister of Home Affairs, Peter Dutton, warned that terrorists are exploiting cryptocurrencies to fund their deadly missions. So we should all be afraid of cryptocurrencies. Here we go again, right? It's the same old, only now, the FBI is jumping in and trying to get us all scared of cryptocurrencies. But anyway, I don't know if we can time the drop in Bitcoin on the daily chart today exactly when that testimony was given. It was like 8 o'clock UTC, but we were cruising along up here about 92 at the beginning of the day, and then took a little dive right about here down to the high 80s still. And let's just let's refresh this and see where we're at here. 88.30. It's up a little bit from where it was over the last hour or so. So we may have seen the worst of this dip. We don't, it's hard to say, right? But that's where we kind of stand right now. And Bitcoin was doing pretty well since that big jump from last week, right? We had that dip. So we had that dip down to the mid to low 70s, and then we had that big jump, and we've been pretty good sort of in that range of mid to low 90s. We made a run at like 95, didn't quite make it over 95. We're in that range, and then down today, right? Down today. So that's kind of where we're at with the Bitcoin price. And the rest of the market kind of follows suit. So, but speaking of following suit, there was a big exception this week. The big story was, I don't have it in my tabs yet. Here we go. Stellar, there was a big news with Stellar. Stellar had a burn of 55 billion tokens worth 4.7 billion US dollars. So the Stellar Foundation, Stellar is, and I don't know if it's open source software or not. I believe the software is open source, but it's sort of a proof of stake coin. So, and the Stellar Foundation, which is a benevolent foundation that manages Stellar, sort of manages the release of Stellar, and they burned a large amount of coins, which kind of speaks to it not being very decentralized. If some organization can simply make a decision to burn, half of the coins. But good governance, so to speak, it had quite an effect on the price of Stellar. Stellar was up over 20% on the day of this announcement. All right, so if we go back here, Stellar was a bit higher in the market cap before. It's down to 10 right now, but it's still up. Let's take a look here if this will pull up. Okay, let's look at the 7-day chart for Stellar. I believe that jump is going to be in here. I don't know what's going on with my computer tonight. Wow. I guess everybody's on. Okay, here we go. Let's go back to 7-day. That'll work. There we go. So yeah, see back on November 5th, early November 5th, we were cruising along at almost 7 cents, and then we shot up to about, I guess not quite 9, right? But we were up to like 8, and that was quite a big jump, and it's kind of trailed down a bit since then. We're at 7.2, but higher than when it started, right? So this was big news for Stellar, good news for Stellar, but kind of bittersweet knowing that it's not as decentralized as maybe some people would like. All right. Let's see where we're at here. Okay, I thought this was an interesting story. At the beginning, I was talking about the fact that Bitcoin is quite traceable, much more traceable than the powers that be would like to let on. And one of the big companies that traces Bitcoin is CipherTrace. And not only are they tracing, Bitcoin addresses, but, locations, right? They're tracking IP addresses and that sort of thing. So they're a big analytics company. They analyze the blockchain. That's their business model. And, I'm sure they're helping governments and law enforcement and that sort of thing. So, and they're just one of many, but this is one of the big ones, CipherTrace. So they're urging crypto companies to prepare for anti-money laundering compliance, right? And they should know, right? They're the ones that can see what everybody's doing. And so they've put out a warning that says, hey, you better get compliant with these new laws and regulations because, we can see what you're doing, so you better fall in line, right? So, the opening of the article, for better or worse, the cryptocurrency space is coming of age. Since Bitcoin's rise to mainstream prominence, there's been increasing recognition of digital assets from government agencies around the world. And so now they want to regulate and trace all the transactions. And then there's a lot of talk about this travel rule, which is it's such that when currency travels from one place to another, you're supposed to know who sent and who received, right? So KYC sort of accounts for who's sending, right? If I have an account on, say, Binance or Bittrex, and I've done my KYC, they know who I am, they know I'm buying it, but when I send it, they want to know who I'm sending to as well. And that's where we sort of get into more complications because, just them knowing me that I'm buying it is one thing, but having to know, everybody on every end of a transfer That's a little more insidious and invasion of our privacy and that sort of thing. But that's what the government wants, right? That's they claim that that's what's going to keep everybody safe, is if they know where the money's going back and forth. So, and this is what this sort of compliance is talking about. What's up, buddy?
Nothing.
Okay. Alex is here. You're lurking. What's going on? Are you back there?
Yeah.
What do you want?
Paper.
Paper?
Yeah.
Well, there's paper there. You can get some. Just move that book, sweetheart.
Paper.
No. The book you just had your hand on. Right there. Just move it. Right? Just pick it up and move it. There you go. There's paper. There you go. He's a paper fiend. And Daddy has to print things out for him so that he can draw and color and all that good stuff.
Oh wait, we don't have very much paper.
That's okay. There's more of it, right? It's okay. We'll get more. I have another ream. I got another ream of paper somewhere. All right. So yes, we're getting into this new age where cryptocurrency will be tightly regulated and controlled if the government and law enforcement has their way. Right? We'll see what happens. All right, and we'll move on to the next story here. Now this story was just nauseating me all week long. This whole thing about this is not it. No, that's not it. That's debt. It's something else. Okay. Let me just open a new one here. Yeah.
That's mine. Yeah.
So the old story is back. The Bitcoin rally of 2017 was orchestrated by one whale. There was only one guy buying Bitcoin in 2017 that was causing the run up to its all-time high. And if you buy that, then I've got a bridge I want to sell you, right? We all know that there were lots of people that were trying to buy Bitcoin in 2017. Most of the major exchanges had to shut down new accounts because they were being overwhelmed. So just on the surface of it, claiming that the Bitcoin rally was the work of one person is ridiculous on the face of it, right? But this research, this was a big story in early 2018. It had a negative effect on the market, and these guys are back claiming once again that the Bitcoin rally was the fault of one manipulative, evil, anonymous whale, pulling the strings in the background and manipulating Bitcoin to its all-time high, right? And not only did this, they presented this research again, or updated, or whatever they did. It got picked up by all the different, mainstream. Bloomberg ran the story. Yahoo Finance ran the story. USA Today, I think USA Today, I'm not sure, right? And it's just a bunch of malarkey, right? It's one of those things where, somebody makes a statement based on some shoddy research, and then all the mainstream people just pick it up as the gospel truth and spread it out on headlines. And so, John Q. Public picks up the newspaper and he sees a headline that says the Bitcoin bull market was, a sham, It's like, it just made me sick all week long. So, but this particular article here from You Today, I'm not sure what that's all about, has some rebuttals in the article itself, right? So it's all due to this lawsuit against Tether and Bitfinex, and there was a lot of criticism of the article. Of course, Tether objected right away because the guy's blaming Tether. The Block Tower Capital, Ari Paul, says the academics behind the paper in question fail to understand how financial assets work, not just cryptocurrencies, but financial assets in general, right? And on the surface of it, if anybody that has any experience in science will tell you that correlation does not prove causation, right? That's the whole brunt of their argument, is they would say, well, right before Bitcoin went up, a bunch of Tether, flooded the market. So it had to be that the Tether guys were manipulating. And it's like, wait a minute, what if people wanted to buy Bitcoin, wouldn't they buy Tether first? It's just ridiculous, this study, this scientific study. So a lot of criticism of the study. And then there was an update to the article. Tether denies that USTD was used to manipulate the Bitcoin price in 2017, adamantly, countering their argument, pointing out that the research was shoddy and all that good stuff, right? But that's not what people see, right? People just see the headlines. And even today, while I was getting ready for the live stream, I saw an article here from Forbes, printed today, the real reason behind Bitcoin's epic rally revealed, ? Same old tired argument, just ripped off from this study that was posted. Right? Bitcoin's price, blah, blah. Now researchers have cast fresh doubt over whether Bitcoin's epic bull run happened organically, suggesting it may have been caused by a single large one. So, he gets into a little more that, hey, it's just a researcher, blah, blah, blah. But the headline screams, right? What, again, and this is Forbes. So just reinforcing that, shoddy study that doesn't really prove anything. A lot of FUD, whatever you want to call it. But just, and this all, I thought this story was behind us. But no, it's not. It's back, right? So we got this crap story. We've got this FBI thing. The only good thing that comes from all this is now we know that Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies have finally broken through to the point where they're really scaring the powers that be. And so they're not laughing anymore, right? They're putting the full brunt of their narrative power against Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, right? So that should give us heart, right? They're taking us seriously now. Good stuff, right? Let's take a look over here. See what else I got. I think that's it, right? Yeah, not too much news. Let me say hello to everybody that jumped in. Wow, you guys talking amongst yourselves? Of course, I'm just babbling over here by myself. Problem cause you didn't get in early. Drug dealers, dark web, CryptoDad. Oh no, not me too. I don't think that banks are going away anytime soon. Let's hope not, because if the banks start failing, the grocery shelves will start emptying. Thanks for your help, Rex. I got all my Monero back after your instructions. NANO did trigger new wallet from blockchain. Thanks again. Thanks, Philip. I might be raising some red flags with law enforcement, but I am going to do some... We're going to buy some Monero tonight. Why not? Let's do something a little more exotic tonight, right? So I'm going to buy some Monero. So let's see. Are any questions out there? All right. I'll have to visit Hawaii sometime. Yes, Betty says they want us to believe this story. Yes. All right, so let's buy some Monero, right? So what I'm going to do is, first of all, because I promote the Brave browser, because I use it, right? And not just because I use it, but because I have claimed my own YouTube channel. So I've claimed my YouTube channel. I have a a link that I put in the description of my YouTube videos that when people click that link and download Brave, I get a credit for that, right? It doesn't cost the person anything to download Brave, right? Brave is free. But when you use my link to get to their site, I get credit for that. And so every month I get some BAT, right? Not a lot, but nothing to sneeze at either, right? So here's my Uphold account. So I'm going to go ahead and sign into my Uphold account. Now, a lot of times I'll move things around, and after I'm done, I'll think, oh, I should have saved that so that I could have done a video or demoed in the live stream. But let me just say that there are several cards in my account, and one of them was the Brave browser. Like, there was some money, some BAT came in from my Brave browser. As you all know, you can accumulate BAT in your Brave browser by watching ads, right? So if you set that up, then you'll get some Brave rewards. And see, it's empty now. It transferred out at on the 5th, right? So I'm going to start accumulating some more here, and I'll get my next payout on December 5th. But it automatically goes into my Uphold account. I've set up that link, right? So there was a little bit of BAT here. So, but what I did was, you can send, like if you pull up the card, and let's just assume there was $10 worth of BAT in here. I can hit send to Uphold and just tell it, okay, let me send it over to the Brave Payments. I put in, there was a max, and I hit confirm, and it just automatically moved over to the other card. And so I think I had Brave reward, this YouTube. When people tip me and they're watching my YouTube, they can tip me, and I got a little bit of BAT in that card too. So I was able to send Uphold and transfer to a different card, and I maxed it out, hit confirm, and it just was real quick. And so I basically consolidated all of the BAT onto this one card. It's like an account, right? So now what we want to do is we're going to move it over to my own cryptocurrency wallet, right? I'm going to withdraw this BAT to my own wallet, because Uphold is kind of like a cryptocurrency exchange. It acts like a wallet in many ways, and it also acts like an exchange in many ways. And a wallet, you know, it has a lot, it's kind of nebulous, its functionality, but you do not control the private keys in the Uphold wallet, right? But it's really cool because you can link it to your Brave browser and all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and launch Ledger Live, and I'm going to withdraw this BAT as Bitcoin. Now I might lose a little bit. I'm just trying to show you the functionality here. Now I think it might be cheaper, maybe, to just transfer the BAT directly, but maybe not. I think they still charge you a fee if you withdraw it as BAT. So let's just say, okay, I've got some BAT in my Ledger Live, right? This is where I keep all the BAT that, you know, I've accumulated over time and have bought and whatnot. I could do a receive and receive it as BAT, but let's try a different way. Let's do it. Let's let Uphold convert it to Bitcoin and send it to my Bitcoin wallet, right? So I've got this Bitcoin native SegWit wallet. We'll do this part first. I have a Trezor too. I was going to show you a little bit on that. But let's enter the PIN. And I'll shut up here for a second while I'm entering my PIN, because I always screw it up when I talk too much. But this time I managed to enter it. All right, so let's get our secondary camera set up over here so you guys can see my Ledger screen. Oops. I like you guys to be able to see everything, because a lot of people get confused with the Ledger. Oops. There we go. That's it. All right. So in order to do a receive, we're going to confirm on the device. So I'm on the Bitcoin app. Let's hit both buttons. All right. And I'm going to do receive. You can't see it. Let me move this for just 1 second. So I'm going to hit receive here. And it autofills the native SegWit, the account that I'm in. I'll hit continue. Now I've already entered the Bitcoin app. You guys know that. Let's turn this guy back on so you can see what's going on. All right. We'll hit continue. And then we're going to hit continue one more time. And notice the address appears on the device, right? This is our failsafe, right? And with the Bitcoin wallet on the ledger, it does generate a new Bitcoin address every time you use it, right? So it doesn't keep using the same Bitcoin address. It's going to the same wallet, but the Bitcoin address is a different one each time. It's also a security and privacy feature. So now that I can confirm that, right? Now that I just need to confirm that by hitting the button, I'll hit one button to advance over to this approve screen, and then I'll hit both buttons, right? And now you'll notice there that this window got a little X on there. Because now that I've confirmed on my device, I can safely use this address, right? So I'm just going to copy it into my clipboard. And that's a Bitcoin address, right? So we're going to go over to Uphold here. And we're going to, we've got this card active, right? This is the card we're going to be withdrawing from. We're going to not send to Uphold, not send to another member, not send to my bank. I'm going to send to cryptocurrency or utility token. Now, it's already BAT, so usually what I do is I just send it to BAT. I send it to a BAT address, right? But in this case, I'm going to go ahead and use Bitcoin. Now, I'm just going to paste in that Bitcoin address that we just copied. My question is, will it allow me to use a native SegWit address? This is the new address format. We'll find out. It does not like that address, right? Not every cryptocurrency wallet supports the new native SegWit address format, which is why I keep a regular SegWit account as well, right? Oh, I got. Oh, I was talking with a friend yesterday, and I created a couple of extra accounts. Oh, by the way, Mr. David, Pat says hello. Pat and I were on the Patreon Q&A last night, and we were wondering where you were. So Pat sends her regards, and I'm glad you're here. And I'm going to get rid of this one, too. That's kind of an empty one. Whoops. Ah! Don't want to do that. I'm just going to these are just empty accounts I was using to kind of demo what we were doing. All right, so here I've got a Bitcoin SegWit account, and when you do a receive on a Bitcoin SegWit account, it uses the older address format, right? So I'm still in the Bitcoin app, same Bitcoin app, different Bitcoin account, right? And notice this address is different. This address starts with a 3. And then I'm just going to go over here and hit approve. The address of the SegWit account starts with BC1. But not every cryptocurrency exchange and wallet recognizes that format, right? Told us it was an invalid address. So now we've got our nice 3, our SegWit address. Let's go back. Let's paste in that SegWit address. What's going on here? Let's try this again. Let me just get out of it. Let me go back. All right, let's start fresh. Okay, there we go. Okay, see, now it sees that that's a valid address, right? Now it wants an amount. I'm just going to use all the available amount on this card. And you notice over here I'm using BAT. I Did not know this, but maybe you could keep more than one cryptocurrency in one card. I don't think so. I think each card holds a separate cryptocurrency. They use cards sort of like accounts, like Ledger Live uses accounts, Uphold uses cards. But it's basically one pool of money. So these are all just kind of virtual distinctions, right? So anyway, I have BAT in this Brave Payments wallet. So, and I want it to become Bitcoin and send it to this Bitcoin address. So what's it going to do? It's going to send me 0.01 BTC. It's going to charge me an exchange fee, and then the network fee, and then it's kind of giving me the current market rate of Bitcoin, right? So we'll hit confirm here. All right, we're going to send BAT to Bitcoin. We'll hit it wants my two-factor. So we'll pull up our Google Authenticator. Oops. Let's try it again. There. I had it at the other resolution when I first. Come on. Okay. This is not strictly necessary, but I do like to show you guys what I'm doing. So there's my Google Authenticator. I just need to go down to Uphold. As you can see there, I've got Uphold. It's red now, so I'm just going to let it cycle. I'll hit that, and it... I can't do it that way, can I? I have to do it manually because I'm not dealing directly on the phone. I'm going from phone to computer. So we'll confirm that. There, it says value sent successfully. I sent 472 BAT to the Bitcoin network, right? So, and I think it told me down there how much Bitcoin I was going to get. But let's just wait. Sync. See how long it... I'm wondering how long Uphold takes to do a transfer like that. Because under the hood, they're exchanging my BAT for Bitcoin. But whether or not I was really BAT to begin with or not, right? They were just... Uphold Wallet isn't really strictly a cryptocurrency exchange. It's just sort of a placeholder. Like, okay, Rex has 572 BAT. We'll just put the little indicator up there that's how much BAT he has, and this is how much value. For all they're concerned, it might be US dollars they're holding for me on my behalf, right? There may not be a separate wallet on their website somewhere that has BAT in it, right? Or maybe it does, right? Who knows? It may be valued in Bitcoin, for all I know. But anyway, I wanted them to take that BAT and convert it to its equivalent value of Bitcoin and send it directly to my Bitcoin wallet. Now that they have to do, right? They have to send Bitcoin on the blockchain now to get to my personal wallet. Once it comes into my wallet, it will definitely be Bitcoin, and it will definitely be my Bitcoin, right? It'll be, I control the private keys of this ledger device. So once that Bitcoin comes into my wallet, it is definitely no longer BAT. It is now Bitcoin, right? So I'll do some stalling here. Whoops, I don't want to do that. I just wanted to sync. We'll wait. While we're stalling, why don't we go ahead and set up our Monero wallet, right? Because my ultimate goal here was to buy some Monero. Now, if I were to try to send... it's kind of hard to... Right, so if I were to try to send... Notice they will not directly convert my BAT to Monero. Right? I could have done that. If they supported Monero, I would have done it that way. It would have been easier. Right? But they don't. Right? So I only have a limited choice of conversions there. Still not there. It might take a little while. Right? But it's okay. It'll come. So let's create our Monero wallet. The Monero wallet that we're going to... And here's the Monero wallet. Adjust it a little bit. Right. Now, I downloaded this wallet from the Get Monero website. Make sure you go to Get Monero. If you go to Monero.com, it's like, I don't know, it's not the latest one for some bizarre reason. All right. So Monero.com, you can go to downloads here, and you can download the wallet to your computer, the installer. Don't download this. I mean, you can, but it's better to just download the installer, right? It installs it on your computer. And then they have other platforms. They got Mac and Linux and all this. So you can download the Monero wallet. The only problem with the Monero wallet is a lot of software, it raises a lot of flags, right? The Windows Defender doesn't like it, antivirus doesn't like it, anti-malware doesn't like it, it flags it. It's like really difficult to get the Monero wallet installed on a computer. Unless you're on Linux, then it's a breeze. But in Windows, there's a lot of, you have to whitelist it and do all this stuff, and it gets auto-deleted, and you have to like go back and forth to get it. It's a real pain to get the wallet installed. All right, but once we get the wallet installed, and I am blurry again, blurry I am. Okay. Once we get the wallet installed, this is what we're presented with, right? What do you want to do? Well, I would like to create a new wallet, and I would like to store my keys on my Ledger device. Right? So we're going to take our Ledger Nano S, the old one, and I'm going to connect it, and I'm going to enter my PIN. If I can remember my own PIN. All right. Now, so we've got the Ledger device up and running, right? So I need to enter the Monero app, right? As you can see, I already have the Monero app installed on this device. Now, you just install apps in the manager interface in Ledger Live. I've been through that many times. I won't go through that. But with the Ledger Nano S, you may run out of room, so you might have to delete some other apps. So we're going to hit both buttons, and we're going to enter the Monero app, right? So the Monero app is ready to go. It's just waiting for me to do something. I'm going to leave this up here so you guys can see what's going on, because it's kind of interesting how Monero works. Let's hope this works, right? If I could hold this thing straight, I would be happy. Okay. All right, so we're going to create a new wallet from hardware. And we'll call this one Ledger Black. Black. Just so we can keep it straight. Now, and it's going to save in the Documents folder in Monero. It's kind of weird, but that's the default. All right, so we're going to choose our device, which in this case is Ledger, right? And then I'm going to choose Create Wallet. There. Now see, the device wants me to hit the button to export the key. So that's the view key. That's not the private key. Export. It asked me to do it twice, but so I hit the button twice. So I don't know if that's a quirk or if there are actually. I believe Monero has 2 public keys. But the Ledger treated it with the same name of both. It said view key. But I can't remember what they are. There's a view key and there's a public key. Public view key or a public send key. I forget. All right, so let's give this wallet a password. I'm just going to set this down for a sec. And then I'm going to put this back here so you can see what's going on. I'm going to hit Next. And the daemon settings, I'm going to leave those at the default. Right? I'm going to run the daemon in the background. I've already set this wallet up as a full node, right? So we'll hit, that's all the new wallets become full nodes. So I'm going to hit next again. There it is. Ledger black. That's all we need, right? Let's hit open wallet. Now, it says the wallet is not connected to the daemon. It's going to start the daemon automatically here. The daemon is going to launch. And then it's going to have to sync to the Monero blockchain. Now, I already have some other wallets on this desktop that are already synced, right? So the daemon is synced. The wallet itself needs to sync up to the daemon. Now it might, once that wallet syncs up, the daemon might need to resync a little bit. It might be a little behind because it's been a while. I think it's been a few days since I synced. All right. So, but what we're going to get here is a Monero address.
Never treat a phone good.
Should sync here in a sec.
Bajillion, billion, infinite years.
And while that's, well, let's just let it sync. The wallet syncs pretty well, quickly. The daemon may take like 12 to 24 hours to do a full sync if you're starting from scratch. Right? And remember, this wallet is the desktop-based wallet for Monero, but I'm using my ledger for the private key. Right? When I installed the Monero app on my ledger, I created a Monero wallet, a private key, a public key, and all that good stuff. So this desktop software is reading my private keys from this device, but the blockchain data is stored on my computer. It's a full node wallet. So let's let that guy sync up if it ever will. Just a little. The suspense is killing me. It's stuck. There it goes. Getting closer. There. The Bitcoin came in. All right, so we got the Bitcoin safely in my own wallet from Uphold. Right, we converted. That's interesting. Yeah, interestingly enough, so I wasn't too sure if this was going to work, and I thought this wallet was empty. I have another Monero wallet where the private keys are stored on this device, but I thought that when I created a brand new wallet that I would create an empty wallet with the keys stored on here, and that I would have two private keys stored on the ledger. But my thinking is that maybe Monero doesn't work like that, and that if you've got a Monero wallet on your ledger, that every time you try to create a brand new Monero wallet that points to this ledger, it'll still point to the same wallet. I may be wrong about that, but it may mean that, like, for the Monero app, you only get one wallet and that's it. Right? And as I mentioned, like, the daemon had to resync, and then the wallet did a resync, right? But okay, so we've got this wallet here. I wanted to create like an empty wallet, but that's okay. So let's do receive, and this will really show, yeah. So you see that I've created many addresses on here. These are sub addresses, right? So let's go ahead and create a new one for tonight. We'll call this Ledger Black Livestream. All right, that's our new Monero address for tonight. Takes it a minute to like generate this new sub address, and boom, there we go. Now I wasn't expecting there to be a balance on there. I wanted to keep it like simple, but let's, you know, like I said, I thought I was creating a new wallet. I did create a separate wallet account on my computer, but it's pointing to the exact same wallet that I had already created on the ledger, right? So I think that's a limitation with the way Monero works, right? With Bitcoin, you can create new accounts, but they all sort of point to this. You can have multiple accounts on the same ledger and see them as separate accounts, but I think with the Monero wallet desktop version, they all sort of, there's only one wallet that gets created on the ledger. But that's okay. We can create multiple sub addresses, right, to keep this more private. So now we've got our Monero address and we've got our Bitcoin ready to go. All right, so let's go over to Shapeshift. All right, so let me go back. Whoops. All right. Let's go back here. Now, unfortunately, you have to create an account on Shapeshift and verify your ID, right? So you can't really buy Monero anonymously. It's very difficult to buy anything anonymously, but Monero is a privacy coin. But we can still get it on Shapeshift, right? So we want Bitcoin. We're gonna use Bitcoin to buy Monero. Right? So we're gonna put some Bitcoin in here and we're gonna get some Monero back out, right? We're gonna convert, we're basically swapping our Bitcoin for Monero. On their end, they're taking my Bitcoin and they're going out and using that Bitcoin to buy Monero, and then they're going to send it back to me. All right, so let's hit the next screen. So the first thing they want is my Monero address. So there's my Monero wallet. Let's hit this clipboard here. And what does it end in? 7VKT. All right, let's paste that in there. All right, there's that 7VKT. Let's go back to the front of it. Very long addresses, the Monero. Let's go back here. Oh, that's it. All right, that's the Monero address. The front of it is 88ZJ, 88Z. So we're good. I'm okay with that. Right? The Bitcoin refund address, right? If something goes wrong, they're going to send my Bitcoin back to me. So I'm going to use the same wallet. You can use a different wallet if you want to, but I'm going to use the same wallet. Now here's where I have to do the shuffle, right? Because I've got the Bitcoin wallet is on this device, but I can connect this device even while that Monero app is open on the other device. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. Oops. If I can focus on my pin here. All right. So we have two devices here. We've got, where are we here? There we go. We've got our Ledger Nano X. We've got our Ledger Nano S, and they're both connected to my computer at the same time, right? But I want to generate a, try to get this, so you can see them both, sort of. All right, there we go. We got them both in shot. I'm going to hit receive. Now, watch what I'm going to do here. I'm going to enter the Bitcoin app on the X, right? And it recognizes that the Bitcoin app is open on my X. It's sort of ignoring the Ledger Nano S right now. The Ledger Nano S is still in the Monero app. All right, and then I'm going to hit continue, and boom, lo and behold, the address appears on my X, and even though the S is connected, I can still manipulate the, now this doesn't work for everything. Sometimes, like the Monero wallet will see that I've got the other one connected and goes flaky on me. But the Ledger Live is okay with me having the other device connected, as long as I'm in the Bitcoin app of the device that I want to use for the Bitcoin. So, isn't that fun? All right, so let's hit copy. We got that Bitcoin app, or I'm sorry, we got the Bitcoin refund address. Right, so we'll go over here, we'll paste the Bitcoin refund address in. That's the address that they'll send me back the Bitcoin if things go wrong. Right, I'm going to agree to their terms and hit start. Now, they want me to deposit Bitcoin. God, this is hard to keep straight. They want me to deposit Bitcoin in this address right here. That's it right there. They want me to take Bitcoin and put it in that address. Right? So I'm in the Bitcoin app on my Ledger Nano X, even though the S is still connected to the Monero app. Let's hit send. I'll paste in the address of Shapeshift. That's my deposit address for Shapeshift. I'm going to send it all. We're going to max it out, baby. All no holds barred. We'll hit continue. And it sees that I'm in the Bitcoin app. And it, even though the Ledger S is connected. All right. Now, over on the X, it says review transaction. That's the amount. That's the address I'm sending to. Those are the fees I'm going to get charged. Accept and send. Boom. All right. So now we don't really need to worry about the Ledger Nano X anymore. Or do we? Yes, we do. We do need to worry about it if we were going to try to send the Monero out or open the Monero wallet. Because when the Monero wallet opens, it looks for a device that's attached that is running the Monero app. And even though I would have the S connected in the Monero app, it would still get confused if it detected the X, right? So for the Monero, I can't have them both connected at the same time. All right, let's go back over to Shapeshift. Shapeshift has received the beginning of my transfer, right? They've verified that, boom, I transferred some Bitcoin into their wallet. Right? Let's turn this camera off for the moment. We've already got the Monero wallet open, right? So we can just kind of wait for the Monero to come. So that's what's going to happen, right? It's gonna go onto their exchange. They're going to take that Bitcoin that I just deposited. They're going to do what they do. They're going to sell the Bitcoin for Cash or Tether or Litecoin or whatever they want to do, as long as the end result is them. They may already have some Monero in their own wallet somewhere, right? For all I know, right? The exchange was complete. All is done. All right. So on their end, they're telling me, okay, we got your Bitcoin. We got it. We bought your Monero and we sent your Monero. Your Monero's on its way, right? On their end, right? So all I got to do now is just kind of wait on my end for the Monero to come into my Monero wallet. So we'll just hang out and kind of wait for that to happen. Let me see. You guys are probably wondering, is he ever going to stop talking? Okay, here we go. How do I find a Q&A session for November 8th? Isn't this November 8th? This is the Q&A session. How can I ask a question? Just throw it out there. You just have to wait for me to stop talking. Trezor, backup failed. I did not create a pin or name device. Why does it fail twice? And how do I avoid it? Without that info, I can't wipe the wallet. Yeah, you made a comment earlier, and I told you we'd talk about. Well, actually, I was going to talk to someone about the ADA testnet. I thought that I answered your question when you posted it in a comment earlier. I told you that you probably got a bad device. So, without that info, I can't wipe the wallet. the backup failed and I did not create a PIN or name device. So I'm not sure where you're at with that. Did you already create a wallet and put cryptocurrency in it? Or were you trying to set up the Trezor and it failed because it gives you the backup on the first, when you first set it up? So I'm a little confused. Are you telling me that you've lost your backup phrase and the device is failing? Because if that's the case, then you've lost everything. But if you're just trying to set it up and it's failing to create the first initialization, right? Then get a new one, right? Take it back to where you bought it and get a different one and start over. So, so Teresa, fill me in on where you're at with this. All right. You can swap BTC for Monero Anonymous on Changely. Okay. Maybe I'll do that next week. We'll try that out. That would be better, I think. It would be more in the spirit of Monero to... I think, though, there are some people complain about Changely. I don't know if there were some glitches. And Juju, thank you so much for the tip. I appreciate that. Oh, for the quick VChain sync tutorial, no problem. Luckily, I had done it before, so it wasn't too hard to show you how it worked. But I appreciate that. Any good way to get my IOTA off the exchange? I was able to move all my crypto to a Ledger X except IOTA. Actually, yes. You can use your Ledger Nano X or S to store IOTA. You just need to have the IOTA wallet. So I would like to see this Monero come in before I search. Actually, no. Actually, I can still do it. Right? So let's... I'm just going to show you, let's do it this way. So if we just Google Ledger and IOTA, all right, it takes us to the support page for Ledger with IOTA, right? So they explain to you, okay, you need to go to the Ledger Manager and you need to install the IOTA app, right? So we go over here, we got this device connected. Now, Manager may not let me have two devices connected. Manager might object profusely. I'm just going to go out to... Right. Oh, it did work. Yay. All right, so I'm going to hit both buttons. Right. So we go to Manager, and then we go to IOTA. Right, there's their IOTA app. We install the IOTA app. I believe I already have it on here. Let's see here. Let's see here. Did I pass it? Where is that thing? No. Huh. Oh, it must have gotten deleted on the Great Wipe. Or did I pass it? No. If you guys recall, about 3 weeks ago, somebody was asking me a question, and I had to delete all of my apps in order to get the app installed. But this is fine, right? We're going to hit install here. We're going to install IOTA on my Ledger Nano X. If you don't have a Ledger Nano X, I highly recommend it. You can put all the apps you need on there without it running out of space. I don't know how many. I've never run out of space yet. But like the Ledger Nano S, after 2 or 3 or 4, you can't put any. It tells you it's out of space, right? All right, so there's IOTA, right? Learn more is just going to take us over to that same page. No, it doesn't. All right, so that's it. Ledger and IOTA Google will take you to this page. We install the app, right? We got the app. Now they want us to go over to Trinity. Trinity is a wallet for IOTA, and you can create a standalone wallet for your desktop using Trinity, or you can set it up to link to your Ledger device and use the private keys there. So I already have it installed. I don't need to download it. I'm just going to go ahead and launch it. We got so many wallets going here. All right, so there's a new update. I'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and install the latest version of the Trinity wallet. That might take a minute. Hey, there, our Monero came in, right? So let's take a look over here. In transactions, I got a bunch of them, right? So there, 1 minute ago, I received 1.73 Monero. Now, this unlocked balance, this is kind of the weird thing about Monero. You want to try, it's better to keep the wallet connected and let the transaction completely finish so that it's like fully confirmed. Because if you don't, then, I don't know, it's supposed to confirm even when you're not connected. But I've had some issues where it got kind of stuck when I tried to move it. So I just, out of superstition, I keep the wallet open until 16 minutes have passed and this thing is completely verified, right? So you'll notice, right, they got a full, this is my balance, but my unlocked balance is that original balance, right? So I have to wait 16 minutes to see the entire amount, right? But that's fine. All right, so getting back to Trinity. All right, and I don't know if it's going to relaunch on its own. Let's see. It did. Okay. All right, so this would be like first, on first use, it's going to have you set up a password. All right, and we need to be in the IOTA app, actually. Whoops. Actually, there. I go into the IOTA app. I have already set this wallet up in the past. So in the same vein as Ledger Live, it shows, it knows my balance already, even before I entered the IOTA app. So I don't even have to have the ledger connected to check my balance, right? But if I want to send out, then I would need to sign it using the ledger, right? So if I were to try to send some, I don't have an address, but I would need to actually hit buttons on the ledger to sign it. So the private keys for this IOTA wallet are stored on my ledger, and I'm using the Trinity wallet to manage my balance back and forth. So I didn't go through the whole initial setup, but it's not that difficult. All you have to do is download the IOTA, or I'm sorry, the Trinity wallet, and on first setup, you'll set up a password, and then it'll ask you, do you want to create a new wallet, or you want to link to a ledger, or whatever. It's one of the options. And so you enter IOTA, link, choose to link to ledger, and then it reads your wallet. It'll most likely be empty when you do that. It'll have zero balance, and then you'll hit receive. You'll just hit this thing. It'll generate an address for you, right? And oh, this is not the same ledger that this IOTA is on. So, but it would show, if it were, it would show. Actually, I think let's look. I think it's on this one. We've got the Monero in the wallet, so let's just exit. Oh, but I'd have to install IOTA. Ugh. Anyway, you get the drift, right? It's not that difficult to store IOTA on a ledger device. Now let me see if let's see. We had that question about the Trezor. Okay. I tried to back up twice and both times failed. I don't have the info to go back and wipe it out. Is there a tech support with Trezor? Yes, Trezor has tech support. Most of these companies have tech support. I'm still confused about what happened to you. Did you have any cryptocurrency on this Trezor? That's my question. Was there anything stored on the Trezor, or are you just trying to set it up for the first time? And when you say backup, I don't understand that either, because when you first set it up, when it's empty, you write down your recovery phrase. That's your backup. So when you say you're trying to back it up, I don't get it. What do you mean you're trying to back it up? Are you trying to set it up for the first time? So I'm a little confused about the question. Betty A. Today I learned of a new wallet that's beautiful and very impressive. Elipal, calm. It acts like a cell phone. It's easy to read. Just scroll up and down. The full names has many coins. Okay, Don, cool. I have... Funny you should mention that. I have an Elipal here. If you want to send some cryptocurrency into it. So I can't really share it on my screen. Oh, and it's got this magnetic charger, which is pretty cool, right? So let's go over here. All right, so we've got this charger. You can't really see it very well. There's two slots on there. There's a USB slot, and then there's a SD, micro SD slot, right? And then the other side of it is a magnet, right? So this device, there's no USB cable. There's no way to get inside the device. There's no way to hack it through USB, right? It's pretty cool. Let's go out here. I know everyone hates this background. This background is not as bad as my other flowing background. People complain that they're like epileptic, you know, oh, I'm going to have a seizure. All right, so this one has already been set. Oh, God, it's brand new. I wiped it. All right. So I'll have to go through the setup. That's a bummer. All right. So we want to create a new wallet. Okay. This X. And oh, seriously. All right, so I'm gonna create a Segwit account. I know it's hard to see. Doggone it. Yeah, much easier to see here. All right, so we'll do create account. Oops. Too many reflections here. There we go. I think it's about to show my seed phrase, so I'm going to move it. This wallet has logged me out. There's in the settings, you can turn that off so that it won't like auto log you out. Like it does it like every 5 minutes or 10 minutes. It could be kind of irritating. Okay, Teresa, so I would just return the device. I mean, you could keep trying, but it sounds to me like you got a bum device. And if you got it on Amazon, I would try to just return it, or if you bought it in a store, maybe just take it back to the reseller. If it's been too long, then let's check Trezor real quick. Let's see. Trezor. Now, Sui. here, there's support. Now, of course, a lot of these guys, they're hard to get through to. All right, so yeah, they're going to want to try to troubleshoot with you. So let's put this on here. Okay, so it's been too long to return. I get it. That happens. So go to Trezor, connect it to Trezor, and but you didn't buy it from Trezor. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of a bummer. And it's been too long. Well, if you were a dishonest person, which you aren't, of course, you might just buy yourself a new one, right? And then take the new one out of the box and put that defective one back in there and then send that back. But I would never advocate something like that. This is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only, right? Okay, so they're saying connect my Trezor. I brought my Trezor with me. Let's connect it and just see what they do, right? I was gonna say, oh, why don't you go to the shipping section of support, right? In the shipping section of support, there might be some, they might go, hey, we can ship you a new one or whatever. But I think that's for like you're waiting for it hasn't arrived yet. So that might not be. So they're going to want to troubleshoot. Let me put my pin in here. Okay. Got that. All right. All right, so I've got it connected to my computer, and it identifies it. It shows me that there's some new firmware. That might help. I don't know. You've never set this guy up before. It's easy enough to start over, right? I cannot access the wallet at all. The device is physically broken. And then they have some of these error messages. Trezor wallet says connect Trezor to continue or loading. I'm not sure if that's your thing. You're facing an issue with a third party. That's a trick question, right? You say you're facing an issue with a third party wallet, they'll say go to that third party and get support. All right. Firmware update, I don't know. Let's hear. Firmware update available. Let's see what it does here. Okay, new Trezor firmware update is available. Upgrade to access the newest firmware. Okay. Basic, advanced. I don't see upgrade anywhere. Okay, there it is. All right. Firmware step 1, disconnect Trezor. Start swiping your finger across the Trezor's touchscreen and plug the USB cable when your finger is halfway through. Wow, that looks difficult. All right, so I'm going to disconnect. Then I'm going to start swiping my finger. How can I swipe my finger in the same time? Right? It's not easy. I'm going to swipe my finger. I'm going to use my thumb. Swipe my finger. Whoops. Ugh, pooies. What happened? I waited too long. Doggone it. See, now it wants my pin again. Not having much luck with my Trezor tonight, am I? That's okay. Well, now it's not telling me that I need to. Okay. That's not too happy. Oh, it did seem to load them. So apparently, I managed to get the device to update. Now, in your situation, Teresa, how do I reach Trezor to ask? I can't answer that question. I'm taking you through what they're directing me to do. Yeah, we are troubleshooting now. So in many situations with cryptocurrency, you can't just call somebody and have them come to your rescue. I don't mean to sound harsh or anything, but sometimes in cryptocurrency you have to take matters into your own hands and like follow on-screen instructions or go to watch, you know, a video on how you do the setup. But yeah, it would be great if you could just like get somebody on the phone from Trezor and have them walk you through it. But a lot of these companies are based in other countries. They don't have 24/7 tech support. You know. All right, but since you're asking, let's do this. Trezor. Google Trezor support phone number, right? Doesn't look like these guys want to talk to anybody. You might have to get community support, right? If you haven't lost any cryptocurrency, I would just suggest getting a new device. I mean, you seem like you've lost your window of return opportunity. So, you know, I don't know how much they cost. They're like 60, 70 bucks. I know that's a lot of money to eat. But doesn't look like they have a tech support phone number to me. You just kind of have to go through the steps that I was going through. And I don't know. I mean, if you don't have enough patience to do that, then, you know, and you want to pay somebody to help you, right? If you go out and find somebody that's going to help you and pay them to help you, that might cost you 50 bucks. You might be better off getting a new device, right? If you had $50,000 worth of Bitcoin stored on it and you couldn't get access to it, then I would say restore it buy a new one and restore it with your backup phrase. But you haven't even gotten to that point yet. You're just trying to set up a bum device that's not working. So anyway, did I paste that Trezor support link there for you? So best of luck with that. It cost you 150. Okay. I don't know enough about Trezor. Yeah. Jason. Okay. So where are we at? Oh, okay. Now you can see here that the Monero has fully synced, right? We've got the unlocked balance and the balance are matched. So this is, a valid balance. So we were able to buy some Monero, albeit we use Shapeshift, which is not anonymous, right? They know who I am. So, they can get subpoenaed, and then someone, by the U.S. or the IRS or the whoever, CNN, and say, well, CNN probably not, but and say, what did Rex buy? Give us all his account details, and then they can see, oh, okay, Rex bought Monero on this day and on this date. So it's not an anonymous. It's private. They don't know where I sent it, they could come to my house and say, well, we know you've got, 5 Monero, so give it up. And I would say something like, oh, I forgot my PIN, or whatever. They can't really seize it physically. I mean, they can demand me to do it, but, no one can force me to enter my own PIN. Well, they can threaten me with retaliation or jail or whatever. But that's kind of one of the beauties of cryptocurrency, is that they're basically unseizable, right? Like the IRS, if they want your money, they can just come and like talk to your bank and put a hold on your bank account, right? But they can't really do that with cryptocurrency. But I'm sure they'll figure out ways. Three Bird Man. Hey Rex, I recently bought a Trezor Model T. I recently saw your video on the new Elipal cold storage. Do you mind explaining the security advantage of that device that you would have over a... all right, let me see if I can get this. Yeah, let me go ahead and write down this phrase. All right, let's turn this off. So I have a mnemonic on this device that I need to, right? I need to write it down. I need to tell them that I'm not going to reveal it to anybody. Luckily, it's just a 12-word mnemonic phrase, all right? And let's see. Okay, all right. So we got this guy set up now. All right, so so the question was, what about the advantage of the Elipal over the? Oh, let's go here. So what is the advantage of the Elipal over the ledger? Right? Well, the Elipal does not connect to your computer. It is a hermetically sealed device. You can't break it open. Right? So now all of these, I've had some people ask me about hardware wallets, and they go, hey, don't these companies have access to your private keys? Won't they just empty your wallets out at some point in the future? And the answer to that is no, they don't do that, because their mechanisms that they use are can be certified by third parties. Like third parties can not only certify them, but other people will crack them open and test them out. So if they had some sort of backdoor built into their cryptography algorithm that was generating seeds that they knew, or like a small sample of seeds that they could, somehow gain control of in the future, it would be too obvious that they can't do that, right? So, and they wouldn't be in business very long if anybody found out that they were somehow, building backdoors into their encryption algorithms. So they have honest encryption devices inside that generate random keys that they use to create these wallet seeds. And now, once you have created your own seed and put it on here, there's no way to get it off, right? So if I wanted to put some in here, we'll need to it's a little tricky to kind of demo this for you guys, but I'll do it. So here's the Ellipal app. Now I need to sync up to this new wallet. Come on, baby. Which keeps getting turned off. Oh, it wants me to select the coins that I want to use. I'm just gonna, they're all selected, so I'm just gonna click OK. Right, so now I have, whoops, how's that? This is really difficult. All right, so now I've got all of the wallets on here. Ugh. All right, let's turn this guy off. Let's do this. All right, so now I've got all the wallets on here. Oh, okay, I'll do this too. This is kind of a pain. It's much easier to see without my chroma key. All right, so now what I need to do is I've got my phone here. We'll go back over here. And I need to click. See this little icon here? I'm going to use this. Right? It wants me to connect the phone app to this. So here's the phone app. I'm going to click this button up here, or this one. There, we're going to add account. And it says connect cold wallet. All right, now the camera's on. All right, so now I'm going to start. Oh, you can see it on my screen. Okay. Oh, let's go back over here. Okay, right. You can see it on my screen. It doesn't appear to be scanning this in right, because it should be telling me. Holy cow. Oh, okay. Well, apparently I did it. All right, so the app is where I view my balances, and it's my interface to send and receive. This is the cold storage. This is only for signing transactions. The analogy to the ledger is the ledger can only sign transactions when I hit the button. This guy signs transactions when I scan a QR code for a request, right? So if I had some BTC in this wallet, I don't have time to move any in there right now, but if there was BTC in the, whoops, like if there was BTC in the Bitcoin wallet, I could send it out, but if I tried to send it out, it would generate a QR code, which is a transaction request. And then I would use the cold wallet to scan that request. Then the cold wallet signs the transactions using the private keys stored on this device, and it generates back another code which represents the signed transaction. So the transaction has been signed by the private keys. The private keys are not being beamed anywhere, right? The private keys are stored safely and securely on this device. They never leave the device. And you use the QR codes back and forth to communicate the data. But it's never communicating the private key. The private key is a cryptographic operation which occurs internally on the device. Once that transaction has occurred, it generates like a signed transaction QR code, which I can then scan with the app, and the transaction goes through. So it's an air-gap cold wallet. Pretty cool. A little different than the ledger. The ledger connects to your computer, and the buttons act as your security. This is just a little bit of a different interface. I find the Ellipal to be a little inconvenient compared to the ledger. Some may argue that it's safer, more secure. I guess all things being equal, you could say that it is. You know what? I thought at first, Betty asked, what is it scanning? All those different cryptos. At first, I thought that it was, but I think there's more than 23 cryptos on here. And I only got 23. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. So there's more than 23 cryptos on here. So I think that the information it needed to sync required 23 QR codes for whatever. I don't know exactly what each one represented, but all of that data put together was what it needed to sync up to the cold part of the wallet, so that the app now represents all of the cryptos that are on there. Maybe some of those cryptos were contained, more than one were contained in each QR code. I don't know exactly, but it was sync information. There was no private keys being moved back and forth. VForge, we did that last week. You could check out last week's. Oh, you're right. They've upgraded, right? There's this new thing, and I think we downloaded it last week, if I recall. Let's just double check. Yeah, see, Malwarebytes does not like my Monero wallet at all. Anyway, so the VForge, there's nothing. Let's see, we go Ledger, VE Chain. Yeah, it's no longer the VE Sync user guide. I did it last week. I'm kind of, my back's against the wall here. I think they have like a standalone wallet that you need to download, which will connect to your... That doesn't make sense. Yeah, I'll have to go back through it again. I think you go to their website, VE. I think if you go to the VE chain website, there's that wallet there that you can download. Let's see here. Yeah, there's a wallet here. I thought, nothing for Windows. I thought we did something last time. Yeah, I'll probably, like you said, I'll probably have to do a video on that. Get that going. Whoops. Let's put me back the way I was. Right? All right, let me just kind of clean up and take a look. Teresa, best of luck to you. I hope you find what you're looking for. I'm just glad that you didn't lose access to a bunch of crypto. You just bought a broken gadget, right? That's not working right for you. $150, that sucks, right? And I'm sorry that I couldn't find you a phone number for Trezor. You're just going to have to sort of find your way through their tech support on their website. And if that doesn't work, maybe try some of their community resources. Post a question on a forum. I think we got to their forum, right? So on the Reddit website, they have a forum where you can post public questions. And maybe you can get some help there, hopefully. George, thank you. Oh, thank you, George. I appreciate that. It's very nice of you. Yeah, every time I see a new coin that people are interested in, I think to myself, how would I go about buying it? So I'll throw up. Okay, she's been really elusive. No one has been able to serve her yet at work or at home, so don't feel bad. One of my drivers is trying to serve someone who doesn't want to be served. Very effective at not being served. Doesn't hang out at her house or at her office, so God knows where she is. Okay, guys, I'm going to sign off now. Don't forget to join me again next week for the live Q&A. We'll talk about Bitcoin news. We'll talk about cryptocurrency in general. We'll move crypto around. I'll do my very best to get your questions answered. I hope you'll come again. I really like seeing you guys, talking to you guys. It's a wonderful experience for me. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click that will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Once again, thanks for joining me and hope to see you again soon. Thanks, George. Bye, Betty. Bye, Mr. David. Have a good night.